All right, good day. This is Coach Big Pete of Deep Dish Football and the Women Report. It is time now for another conference preview, and it is the Southwest Suburban Conference. Three teams, three very strong teams. First, let's get the intros and that. Follow Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Visit deepdishfootball.com. My email is coachbigpete@gmail.com if you have any questions. Also, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Coach Big Pete Deep Dish Football. Please do, and help spread the word of Deep Dish Football. If you like my work, feel free to leave a tip via PayPal. On the PayPal thing, it goes towards maintenance of the website and traveling. So, again, we have LincolnWay East, the big dogs, top dogs, one last season. Again, I really see LincolnWay East, Homewood, Flossmoor, and Bolingbrook as the three big top teams. My surprise team is LincolnWay West. I also, looking at the rosters and looking at the tape, sort of a surprise team. I'm going to not say it fully. I'm not going to put it down. But I'm just going to say keep a very good close eye on Thornwood and the seniority that they have on the roster. Now, as I talk about this, and I say this again for reviews and predictions, they mean absolutely nothing. You have to play the game. That's how it is. That's how it's done. Predictions and all that go in the garbage. What is up, and what is down, is down. So, 0-8 team can be a 8-1 team. 0-9 team, sorry. And it switches around. There's a lot of parity in high school football. That's why I like high school football. So let's get started. Homewood, Flossmoor. Players, again, deep roster. Marion Scott, wide receiver, who I think is one of the best in the state of Illinois. Justin Whiteside, linebacker. Winston Russell, as you guys know, one of the best defensive backs in the state of Illinois. Isaiah Cole. Again, Homewood, Flossmoor is stacked in talent. I could name about 12, 14 players from Homewood, Flossmoor, like Jack Schmitz. He's another player to look out for, too. But again, it is a stacked roster of Homewood, Flossmoor players. It's always been that way. A great group of talented players. But again, we'll see what happens if they can get everything together. If they can play disciplined football, they can go pretty much far into the playoffs, and they can get into a state title game because they have the talent. Very much also keep a very good close eye on Justin Whiteside, very underrated linebacker. You definitely want to keep an eye out for him. For Stag, it's going to be a tough year for Stag. Kyle Nepti is gone. Their other running back is gone too. Keep an eye out for Mike Warfield, Green, and Modiste at running back. LincolnWay Central. LincolnWay Central is, again, disciplined team. Again, an offense that most teams aren't used to playing against, and that gives an upper hand to LincolnWay Central. Keep an eye out for defensive back Gabe Myers, and also keep an eye out for young offensive lineman Jake Legaro, offensive and defensive lineman. Keep an eye out for him. But LincolnWay Central, again, is going to be that team that gets the 5 to 6 wins in the playoffs and can be very dangerous. Next one, Lockport football. Lockport football had a bad year last year. I think Lockport can do something this year. Just depends on how good they can get their team. Again, Lockport, LincolnWay Central, Sandburg, Bradley Bourbonnais, those are the type of schools that you look at after 2 weeks. What can they do for the 2 weeks? If they can get those 2 first wins, watch out. So Lockport, Bo Hamlin, Jake Gensico, and Ronald Tucker are 3 players to look out for. Andrew High School, Jemiah, offensive line, and Scanlon. Again, Andrew High School is another one of those schools like Lockport, like LincolnWay Central that I talk about. Could be scary after those first 2 games if they get those first 2 wins. LincolnWay West, I have as my surprise team because they are unbelievable. Talented group of players, great offensive line, great running backs in Barber, Israeli, and Macaroni. Sorry, didn't want to mispronounce the last name. And Mahoney at offensive lineman. They have another great offensive lineman too, and I think it's on the right side if I'm not mistaken. But LincolnWay West, again, is a team that could surprise a lot of people. Now we'll go down to Sandburg. Sandburg, I think, is going to have a little bit of a tough year. Hirschfield, the linebacker. Starich, a quarterback, young quarterback. Is definitely a player you want to keep out for. But Hirschfield, major D1 prospect out of Sandburg. Again, Sandburg, I think, is going to have another tough year. But again, parity in high school football, you'll see what will happen. Next, we got the big dog, Bolingbrook, and Bolingbrook will always be a big dog with great players always putting on that red. Anthony Williams, running back, one of the best in the state. Pringle, King, wide receiver. Armstrong, Elijah Armstrong, defensive end, one of the best in the state. Mitchell, Cameron Mitchell, again, another defensive back, one of the best in the state. Paredes, offensive lineman, look out for. They got another offensive lineman. They have another offensive lineman. They've got a great offensive line. The other young kid to look out for is Borland, too. Again, Bolingbrook is stacked. Stacked with talent. Bolingbrook and Homewood Flossmoor, again. Two teams, again, two teams that can do so much far with talented, but if they play disciplined football and they get past that season, they go into the playoffs, and everything is working like a well-oiled machine, they can get to the state title game no matter what. And that's the truth with Bolingbrook and Homewood Flossmoor. All right, next big dog, state champs, LincolnWay East. Jack Bolts, Matt Judd, A.J. Henning. A.J. Henning, as you guys know, is one of the best athletes for 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Shelton, underrated defensive tackle. Keep an eye out for him. Soto Santo and Circia. Keep an eye out for him, too. But again, they have a great group of athletes. Again, they're like Homewood Flossmoor and Bolingbrook. They kept everything together. They played disciplined football last season, and they won a state title game. And what I was surprised about, the main thing that I was surprised about this summer, was no jealousies, no player jealousies got in the way, no nothing. Everyone's staying with the team. That's impressive. And LincolnWay East looks like the real deal for this upcoming season. Keep an eye on them. You should always, when they win a state title, but I think they can win the second state title this season. I think it's going to, again, interesting games, LincolnWay East, Bolingbrook, and I think they play Homewood Flossmoor. Those are going to be some great games in the Southwest Suburban. All right, Thornwood. Have a little bit of surprise. Was impressed with how many seniors that they have. Lay, Scott, Ford. Keep an eye out for those three guys. Thornridge. Keep an eye out for Gerard Forden. I think it's going to be another tough year for Thornridge. They got some great athletes, but we'll see what happens on the line. All right, and the last one is Bradley Bourbonnais. Bradley Bourbonnais is I think, from talking with coaches and everything else, I think they're a year away, but they could do some damage this year with transfer coming in, Bird, wide receiver Hartsfeld, Dunn, and they got two other players too. They have a defensive back as well. That's very impressive too. He's a young defensive back. They've got a lot of juniors on that roster. Watch out next season for Bradley Bourbonnais because they can do some damage in the conference. So that is it for the Southwest Suburban Conference. Again, if you have any questions, please email me, coachbigpete@fp@gmail.com. My Twitter is Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football. Follow on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you like my work, feel free to leave a tip via PayPal on the bottom. I think it's Deep Dish. You'll see the link on the bottom. Again, it's going to be a good, interesting year in the Southwestern Suburban. Again, remember, you can nominate for the Deep Dish Football Game of the Week every Saturday at 10 a.m. after week 1 on Saturday. Nominate your game with the hashtag Deep Dish Football. Come see our game. And then Sunday it goes up to a vote, and that will be the Deep Dish Football Game of the Week. I think I've been to 2/3 of this conference's games for the Deep Dish Football Game of the Week. I think Stag and Homewood Flossmoor was my last game that I was at last year. Yeah, Stag and Homewood Flossmoor. So again, please, if you have any questions, email me, coachbigpete@fp@gmail.com. And like I said, predictions, previews, and all that, they mean crap. You got to play the game. Simple as that. Enjoy the season, and good luck this season to all the teams in the Southwest Suburban.